me, it's something to guide your steps in the right direction. If you do with love, everything comes perfect in your life.
I define love as truly accepting someone for who they are, supporting them, taking care of them, and making their happiness a priority in your life. Loving someone is unconditionally supporting and being there for someone.
You don't keep score, you don't live transactionally, you just love her because it's the right thing to do and serve her because it's the right thing to do.
El amor para mí es un especial sentimiento que une a dos personas que se trata en paciencia, en comunicación, esperar y amar, más que nada amar. Para mí fue una espera, no fue una larga espera para mí, porque yo amaba y sigo amando. Para eso significa a mí el amor de dos personas, que sea un amor verdadero y para siempre, venciendo todas las dificultades, porque dos personas van de dos diferentes familias con diferentes pensamientos, pero al final la comunicación es lo que lleva a permanecer unidos por muchos años. I working in the Carlos Heva uncle and Heva store, and I go to work in the store to the Carlos uncle, and I saw Carlos in there. I know first the Teresa's sisters, and when the Teresa sisters take me home or too close to the store, I saw Carlos, and Carlos see me, and he liked me, and I liked him, and this is a very good thing for when you know this really love you feel something in your stomach, and when you see somebody, and I waiting for him, for I have too many chance. They know other people, and I waited. I say, when I know Carlos married, I married, but not after him. And I waited 10 years for him, but I really love. That's what I tell him.
Papa, how did you feel when you met Mimas?
I feel so happy because she come next door to my house, and when I look at him on here, I say, oh wow, that's a beautiful girl. So I start talking to her, little by little. Little by little, I start to come in love with her. Later on, for some reason, I have to come to United States. I spent 5 years in here to return. I'm lucky she wait for me, or for some reason, still single, and I'm still single. So I promised to her I want to get married with her. When she say okay, a year later come back and get married.
What was the hardest thing to overcome, like to work through in your guys' relationship together?
For me, they come from the Mexico to here. For this different, there's a lot of change, And I miss my mom, I miss my friends, I miss everything. This more hard.
Papa,
What is the hardest time?
hardest in your relationship together?
In my relationship, nothing at all.
Nothing?
It's I'm so happy. Like right now, it's over 40 years, and I'm still like one day. I never have a problem with her, and The only reason I have a little problem when she come to United States because they don't take too long, because she started to come go to watch my kids, and she want to stay. And I told him, but you want to stay, I fix you papers to stay. So it take me about maybe a year, a couple years to fix all the papers. And then she come. From that time to now, everything is perfect. Winter come.
Me lo mandaste.
It's something different. To the summer, to the winter. My wife, she don't know about that. So these two pictures, I sent it in to her to explain what is the situation in this country. Because in Mexico, you never see snow, you never see the temperature too hot. So that's the reason I send the photos, the pictures to her, to not have a surprise when she comes to this country.
Oh, this a new year. This a new year. When we start in San Agustin, you know, San Agustin, in the church that my daughters go to the school, and make a party. And we go to for the New Year party. There's a good memories for the San Agustin.
Oh yeah, I remember that picture. It's a New Year.
Ahí fue cuando dio las 3 caídas.
Huh?
Cuando diste las 3 caídas.
No. Yes, in a New Year, right to the church, they have a party to celebrate the New Year, and I have a beautiful time. I like it.
I have a lot of
I'd like to
friends.
see this picture again.
How did you meet?
My
I think-
family, you want me to tell?
Okay.
Okay. My family moved in the middle of my freshman year to his high school. So I switched high schools, second semester, freshman year, and we had English class together. And so we were instantly friends.
I know. And by the time I met her, everybody was already talking about who is the new hot girl. And I'm like, I don't know, but she's in my English class. And yes, she is smoking.
You got your flirt on?
I got, well, yeah.
No, we were friends, and we ended up choosing all of our classes together all through high school.
Okay.
I did ask her out freshman year. Yes, and she thought I was kidding.
Did you? What'd she say?
Well, he hadn't hit puberty yet. He was like the same
Hey,
size
we're on
as
camera
me.
here. You can't be.
Well, he wasn't really a man yet. This week is March 1st,
So that is when we started dating.
1986.
Yeah, senior year of high school. We actually dated in the fall of the senior year,
So that's 26 years.
but it was during homecoming week, and so we were doing all the homecoming stuff together. So then the next week after, on a Tuesday, I said, hey, do you want to get some ice cream? And she's like, I'm going to my grandma's. And I took that as, loser, get out of here. You're out of your league, so don't call me again. And so I didn't.
It was completely honest.
Did she call you?
Well, and I had told him, I really have this, but I'd like to see you another time. But he thought I was making it up, so
Yeah.
he never followed up. It was
Right.
April 13th,
It was,
right? 1990.
it was like Easter weekend, and we were home from college, Fort Wayne. I had it all planned. I talked to her dad, and we were all good to go. It was a little nerve-wracking. He had a golf club in his hand, but he was swinging it, but not at me, thankfully. We went out to dinner, a place that, like a Domo 77 place.
Japanese
steakhouse thing.
Yeah.
And I had prepared this Easter basket for her, but I'm like, oh Lord, how am I going to give this to her? I have no idea. And we pulled up to the restaurant, and there's a horse and carriage, and she's like, oh, could we go on the horse and carriage? And I'm like, sure.
Yeah, that's when I knew something was up.
She knew, because I'd be like, I'm not paying $25 for a horse and carriage, or
Yeah.
probably 10 in Fort
Oh,
Wayne
yeah.
back
But
then.
I knew that it was coming. Yeah.
And then in the horse and carriage, I had, like I said, I had this Easter basket, and I had a bunch of different eggs on the outside that all had memories. And so she opened each of those, and those were memories of, you know, dates we'd been on or things we'd experienced together. And then in the middle, I had this egg that had this crazy looking rabbit on it. And I had mounted the ring in there. And so in the carriage, then I got down on one knee and asked her if she'd marry me.
Yeah.
She said yes.
course.
Yeah, myself. It was the hardest thing to overcome. Wanting my way. I don't know, with humility, I guess, or I don't know. You don't keep score. You don't live transactionally. You just love her because it's the right thing to do.
Well, I was living in Hawaii, in Honolulu, and I was working at a Bikram yoga studio. And he came in with his friend to take class one night. I remember thinking that he was really cute. Yeah, it was his first time, and so he came to the front desk right when everyone else had started to ask me for a headband. He kind of had like shaggy hair at the time. And I looked around and I couldn't find one, and I offered him the one I was wearing that was on my head, you know, and he gave me this big smile and said that was okay, but kind of like lingered a little bit. And then I never saw him again, and I wondered if he'd like come into the studio and take class again, and I thought about him, but just figured, you know. And then like a week or two later, he came in to the other place I worked as a cocktail waitress with some friends. And there he was at my other job, and I was like, that's the yoga guy. And so I just went over and started talking to him and started dating. I picked him up. We were together in Hawaii until mid-December. So August, September, October, November, December. So about 5 months-ish in Hawaii. And then we've been apart since the holidays, since Christmas, so 3 months. There's a couple moments where I thought that we could have something a little bit more real and serious. One memory that I'm thinking of is one night after I got off work, we went to Waikiki to this restaurant called Lulu's. We were all like sitting in the bar, but it started to get kind of crowded and I wasn't really in like a bar mood. So I told them I was gonna go like walk around outside, and they came to meet me in a couple minutes. But we were in the car, and his friend Ryan was gonna come over, but he had to like stop at his place. So Ryan went upstairs and Wade and I were like in the car. And he just like put his head on the seat and looked at me, and I can't remember what he said, something like, "You're so nice," or "You're so pretty," or something like that. And it was just really sweet, you know. And I don't know. He was just like super understanding about me not wanting to like be in the bar and be there, and didn't like make me wait around forever. And you know, it's just the way he looked at me. I thought, he's a keeper. Obviously, being far apart has been really challenging. You know, we were together about 4.5 months when I was getting ready to leave Hawaii, and it wasn't a decision that was 100%, but it was sort of my plan in the beginning when I first moved there and to come home at the end of the year. And there was a lot of pressure in a new relationship to say like, stay for me or go and, you know, keep going on your own path or whatever. And it seemed like things were sort of pointing me in the direction of Chicago, and I wanted to be back here. But so we both kind of thought things might fade apart and we would always remember each other fondly, and that was kind of it. But we've actually missed each other more and more as we've been gone, and we've been talking about it, so we decided to kind of stay together. We get to know each other in a whole new way. We're not relying on like being physically next to each other. We have to like talk, like, how's your day, or what's going on, or how do you feel? And then we're like sending letters and Skyping to like keep in touch. So it's challenging. I went back to the place I swore I heard you cry. I couldn't find your face. I gave you up, I gave you up, I gave you up, I gave you up. That's all I got for that one.
My advice for the young couple is the first thing, love. love one and other the most you can do.
Get married early, but not often, just once. Yeah, you don't want all that baggage and stuff. Everybody anymore doesn't feel like, oh, I'm not even an adult till I'm 28 and won't get married till I'm 32. And we would have missed out on so much. I mean, and did we know everything? No. Did we have money in the bank? No. But you know what? We just made it work.
You have to understand that they're an individual person and that they have their own things going on in their life. And so when you're doing something long distance, you have to understand that you're not going to get an instant response to every text message or email. I mean, just be grateful for the moments you do have together. Having some kind of endpoint or something to look forward to together, like the time we're visiting each other, is helpful. But you know, I would never choose to be in a long distance relationship, but it just sort of happened, and you can't always help who you love, and sometimes it's just, if it's worth it, you just stick with it.
Take your time and respect and love and go to for the food, go to sit for the future and communication.